Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another build order video on this channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and are ready for the Ox Clan build order over here. We're gonna go with the Dwarven build order, so we're gonna try to find Dwarven on the map, befriend them, and yeah, basically get the operatives as miners for us. Because the Ox Clan has a bit of the problem that when you have a mine, you can only set one villager on the mine there, which is gonna be a bit of a problem. Like, your villagers are a tiny bit more bulky, they have a bit more attack power, they have a bit more resistance, so they're a little bit more bulky. But you're also gonna get generally a bit less of them as you would get on another clan. They're also a little bit more efficient when they work on buildings. But yeah, you can only set one villager per building basically, so that makes it a little bit tough, especially when it comes to mining. So we're gonna keep our eyes open. We already found the Dwarven over here, which is really nice. So they are pretty close. And what we are gonna do is build a lot of camps, scout camps here, and just trying to get an amount of best case scenario would be 3 scouts, yeah, to send over to the Dwarven. Which is also why I'm gonna break my rule here a little bit by not taking anything from our spawn, basically. So not taking sheep, not taking let's also get the wood camp at this point, and not taking sheep, not taking ruins, because yeah, in this build you will always have somebody clearing you. Like, as an ox, you will not be clearing yourselves anytime, really. You're gonna see how we do it over here. It can just be a little bit iffy when you only when you only have your basic build. Basically, you don't get any sheep, you don't get any bonuses, and you still need to clear yourself and send 3 scouts onto Dwarven. That is gonna be quite tough. You're gonna get into food problems there. So usually when you are in this situation, you need to clear yourself. It can sometimes be better to only have 2 scouts on the Dwarven here. But we got lucky enough to get 2 sheep, so we should be relatively easy to show you how it would be done when, yeah, you basically are getting cleared, even though we need to clear ourselves here in this game. So at first, we're gonna look for the 2 tiles that are free here, so we can basically colonize them relatively early and build scout camps on them. Right after we scouted the territory surrounding us, we are gonna send all our scouts forward. At this point, we can now take this tile and go for a little bit of wood, because we're gonna need another scout camp here really soon. So yeah, getting attacked by a fox here, of course. That is one of the earliest attacks I have ever seen in Northgard, honestly. At the start of May, that is really, really, really damn early. I don't think you can get attacked much earlier. We try to not get hit low by this fox, but it's not gonna be possible, I think. Yeah. Oh, we actually made it happen. No low villager here. Okay, that was a little bit lucky. But sometimes you're also allowed to get a little bit lucky, right? So get the 3rd scout camp up. Obviously, the house is still going to be needed. And you can already see when we have a woodcutter and the villager building the scout camp, which will later on be a scout, we already entered a little bit of a food situation here. Which is especially wild when we still need to clear tiles surrounding us here. So we will still need to get an axe thrower to clear ourselves out. So the sheeps here are really, really helpful. If you are... Oh, send the scouts actually where I need them. If you are in a normal game situation, you will usually just be able to not have a villager on the woodcutter slot here for a while until enough villagers pop and you can actually go. So yeah, we have the 3 scouts now on the Dwarven. We're relatively fast on that. This is really nice. So that's gonna end up being really, really early Dwarven, which help us with their mining, of course. Keep in mind that your Dwarven can't only mine, they can also forge. So this is also going to be really helpful for us to get a fast relic here, which is usually the best thing you can get on Ox, is basically the relic, because the taunt that sends everybody towards you is just really, really huge, also in smaller fights. So, set all the 3 scouts on the Dwarven. This will give us a befriended rate of 1.6. And we have Iron Dwarven over here, which are a little bit worse, because as soon as we have 30 relation with the Dwarven, we are getting some resources from them, basically. I think at this point, I think we're just gonna build a 2nd woodcutter slot over there. Yeah, as soon as we got 30 relation, we will now slowly get iron from them. And it would be a little bit better if we would get stone from them, really. So it's not the perfect thing here. Would be nicer if this would be stone, but it's fine. If we're just gonna live with iron, it's gonna help us with upgrades and the relic, so it's still gonna be fine here. So second wood camp goes up. Right afterwards, we're gonna try to get our axe thrower out. And obviously also build a house, but I think we're just gonna try to clear out a few tiles here. We won't really get around that, so we're gonna need to build a house somewhere here. It's just a bit of a downside, but it's fine. Just I would like to have another tile to build a house on and not directly build it on my farm. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So, let's get the house now. I'm not getting housed. Keep in mind, you don't need any space for quarries here. So we are not mining with a building here. We're going to do it with a Dwarven. So that also saves us a little bit of building space here. And the time has come where we're just going to slay one of our sheeps. Make everything a little bit more possible here. And then the next building will be the axe thrower camp, probably just on our main tile, so we can still build docks surrounding here. Also keep in mind, we can at least break 2 of these scout camps down. If you are actually scouting for your team, which is generally possible, maybe keep 2 up if you actually want to go with 3 scouts. Usually when you're scouting as the ox, you're in such a weird game situation that you should also be able to just do it with 1 scout camp. But honestly, in most of the times, you should just try to not be the scout for your team. Like, Ox is really not a good scout, because your villagers are, yeah, so much more worthy than the villagers for the other clans, because you generally get less of them. So sending 2 of them out to scout hurts you a lot more than other clans. Okay, we got a low villager now. That's how it goes. So, the horse is already going around us. We also got to watch out when we clear this tile that the horse doesn't steal the tile from us, which it will probably try to do. So yeah, gotta keep an eye out for that. We could also get the farm now, as soon as we got enough wood to do that, of course. And I think as our axe thrower villager, we're just gonna take the low villager here, because yeah, we could then maybe think about later on just sacrificing him instead of building healers here early. Oh my god, this tile is so bad to do tile dancing. So I think the border here doesn't really exist when I click. Oh yeah, it does. It's because he ran into the tile so weirdly. Oh my god. It is one of the worst tiles we can tile dance here though. Oh my god, the horse is going up there, which is nice. But we need to take the tile instantly so the horse doesn't steal it. Yeah, it's just AI problems. We won't have these problems with teammates, of course. On the bright side, you just cleared the tile for me, which is really nice. So we only need to clear this out here. Didn't even say anything about the lures yet. We're gonna try to go for a city builder here at the start. Right now the next lure will be colonization, so I'm not really stressed out of taking it. I only need to take that before I actually take a tile. But afterwards we will get City Builder, which will basically improve the eco on all our developed tiles, which will basically be all of our tiles. We're going to try to develop every single one of them. Development only costs 50 gold, and we get a production bonus on the tile. Just really, really nice. So yeah, the extra we just sent into the wolves up there. So we don't need to build healers later on. We completely forgot to build the farm, so we're gonna go for fishers right now. So we don't get too many problems here in winter. Yeah, a little bit iffy. Going for colonization now. Having the lore would be really, really nice, but we're gonna need to focus on that after the winter then. Our scouts are relatively far though. We should be at over 50% already. So yeah, on this front we are doing really, really well. Yeah, that is the most important thing, to be honest. When we come to the military paths, we could either go for leadership or legions. There was a time where legions were the military tree to go for, because Are we done here in a second? Okay. The veterans bonus meant that you get 100% extra bonus for every upgraded camp, which, yeah, is now a 50% bonus for all other units for your upgrade. So it's really not that good anymore. So I really think leadership, because we have a strong chief here, which we would want to survive very long. I think leadership is actually a pretty good call here. Need to slay the second sheep so we don't start starving. What we're also gonna need is a brewery, because our happiness obviously is dumping down a little bit. So let's try to get that. So that's a little bit to do with starving right now, that our happiness is so low, but it's generally a pretty good timing to build a brewery. What we're also gonna need is a third woodcutter's lodge, so that is also going to be something we will be aiming for relatively soon. But I think before that, we're actually going to try to build the farms and everything, and yeah, have a bit of a bonus here, and try to build the third wood camp over there. That would be my goal right now. Yeah, brewery is going to be up in a second. Here we go. There we go. So, also gonna scout these tiles here soon as I'm done with getting the Dwarven, which we are really deep in. So as soon as we get out of winter, we're gonna get the Dwarven. This is a really good scenario. Oftentimes you're gonna watch a little bit longer for the Dwarvens. If they are on the corner of the map, they can be hard to reach, and you're gonna get them a little bit later. So all things considered, this is really early Dwarven here, so don't feel too bad if they come a little bit later for you. Yeah, you can't really control where they spawn, and yeah, how fast you are actually able to get them then. So, 3 scouts are out. As soon as they come back, it's going to be all a little bit easier anyway. We're gonna build the farm now. Somebody scouted the middle. Yeah, 200 can be quite nice for Ox. Non-villager unit productions have a bonus depending on the number of military you control. Not really important in the early game, so not really something that you're rushing for. 500 fame can be really nice, the ram ability of Dwarven. So you can basically just run into a tile and break down a building with Dwarven when you have 500. And if that is, for example, an altar of kings, the best king scenario, yeah, best case scenario, yeah, you can completely demoralize your opponent by just breaking the building down. So we go for city builder now. Since we have the city builder, yeah, I think we're just gonna focus on getting the tile up there now, so we can also build the house there, because we need a new one yet again. And we're also gonna have the Dwarven soon. That means our town hall upgrade is also not too far away anymore. So let's go. We're almost there. We're still gonna get housed here, but I really don't want to build it in another tile right now. I could probably just build it up here, but then I'm completely... Oh no, come on, let's build it up there. Let's actually build it up there. We built the third wood camp over here. Thought about a silo on the fissures, but if I build a silo here, it will definitely be on one of the farm tiles, because I have two farms. So if I upgrade a tool, it will probably be the farms. So yeah, should probably go for a farm silo then to stack upgrades basically. We have the Dwarven, we sent them straight for stone. If you want to go ultra aggro, you could also think about just going for a few docks and going for iron and just go for a quick relic here, which is generally super strong and something you would want. But yeah, it feels like a little bit too aggro for the normal build, let's say. So I'm gonna show you how it most of the time will look. You can go a lot more aggro, but we're gonna basically go the midway. We're not gonna go full aggro here, full eco here, because we're gonna go for city builder. And afterwards in the lore tree, we're gonna try to go towards unstoppable. So if a fight happens in 802, early 802 or something, we have the chief with unstoppable and the relic. That would be the dream. That is what we wanna reach here. If you know that the game is gonna be more late game, like when we play community games, we oftentimes don't do 801 rushes and super early aggression. Oftentimes you will be able in these games that go relatively slow to go for the lower tree. I personally like shipbuilding quite a bit, so I would take my shipbuilding here. If you do not have any coasts, obviously you will have to take coinage. That can be really nice. And if you're ultra greedy, carpentry mastery can even be a choice, but usually the best thing to do is just go city builder and go straight into unstoppable. It's just a little bit better so you don't get overwhelmed here later. So we are already going to develop tiles here, because our upkeep will be lowered through that, and we will indirectly get gold by that. So always when we have 50 gold, we're going to try to develop a tile here. And since we also going to need a little bit more gold, we're also going to go for our docks now. We can also break down a few scout camps. Since we are not going to need 3 here anymore, I'm just going to keep 1 up so I can go for that tile. Then we have that done. Ah, we already got it. That's huge. So we set this one home. And we're just gonna leave the be nastroned, and not go for it yet. So, yeah, send these scouts home. Have our eco back on our hands. We have the 3 woodcutters lodges running, which is kind of nice. So, yeah, doing pretty well on that front. And we're also gonna get a second longship dock here instantly, since we're also gonna need the gold to actually upgrade our town hall. And since we can only send 1 villager into an unupgraded longship dock, gonna take a little bit of a while. Like, we're even gonna build the 3rd one here relatively early, since we need a lot of gold for upgrades, for developing our tiles, for city builder. Like, gold is really, really needed right now, so we're gonna focus on it as much as we can. This is also why sometimes a 3rd wood camp can even be kind of good, but we're gonna keep it quite standard right here. So we're gonna only run with 3, but sometimes you can even run a 4th one, because you're just running through such a wood bottleneck right now. You want to build so many buildings. You could even build another farm over here, but I think we're gonna first focus on getting our 3rd dock up, since gold is really, really of the essence right now. We would also like to get the chief at one point, of course. So, yeah, a little bit of gold is just great right now. So, second dock is up. Here we go. Can't yet go for the town hall upgrade, because we are missing the gold here anyway. Yeah, the wood too right now, but since we don't have the gold, I would rather get a longship dock and boost my gold here, since I know I'm gonna need so much more throughout the game. So, dock is going up. Oftentimes I would also think about the farm upgrade relatively early, but right now definitely going for the dock first. If you have like, I don't know, a ruin and a shipwreck that you spawn with and you still have a good amount of gold, you could upgrade all the tiles and you have enough for the upgrades. Maybe go for the farm upgrade first, but at this situation here, since I also have a lot of food sources that I could theoretically go for, I will go for my gold upgrade first. First we're gonna go for the town hall. Send 1 more into gold, pumping it relatively wild, +7 now, and next upgrade will be my next longship dock. That's basically just the start of the build, right? You get all of your upgrades. We're gonna go for the first stone here. Afterwards, we're probably just gonna go for the relic and everything, and the upgrades that we need. So we can later on just take the Dwarven, bring them up to that stone, and go for more upgrades if we actually need them. So Dwarven are really, really helpful here. I'm even gonna break down the scout camp here, because yeah, we're just gonna play it like we are not the scout, how it should usually be, right? You don't really want to have the ox scouting. There's just a possibility if you end up in a situation where you feel like, okay, it might be good for me to scout here. Let's go. Upgrade that bad boy. Send in a villager. And we got 50 gold right now, which means we can develop another tile and therefore upgrade all the production on the tile. Plus we are also yeah, paying less taxes. So this is pretty great. Not even considering that we can build another building on the tile, which is also really, really helpful, right? So you can see why I like the docks so much. We're really pushing our lore here. We like a little bit over the mid of 801 here, and we're already strong on our way to Yord's Blessing, which is kind of cool, because the bonus stone will obviously help us to upgrade a lot more buildings here. Sometimes you can even think about upgrading a woodcutter's lodge. I'm generally not the greatest fan there on Ox, because there's just a certain moment where you need a lot of wood and then it's over and you don't need that much anymore, and yeah, you don't really need the upgraded wood camp at that point. So next upgrade should be relatively soon. We could also think about building the farm now, if it takes a little bit longer. I guess we're just gonna do that. Since it's also gonna help us out a lot, of course. And we again have enough gold to get the upgrade. We're gonna do that. Just it's more efficient. We're gonna get more stuff through that. And now the Dwarven go down to the iron. And we're already gonna start to build our forge. Very good. So I would need to still upgrade 2 tiles. This here would be kind of huge, honestly. This here would be kind of huge, so I'm still gonna go for that one. And afterwards, we're gonna save the gold for upgrades and everything else. Right now, in this special situation, I would probably go for the sailor upgrade, which is normal. I would always do that. But right now, I'm really considering the farmer upgrade, because 2 farms, usually it makes sense. We have enough iron. We still need to keep in mind that we need 15 iron for the sheaf, 10 iron for the relic, that's 25, and 5 for the warrior upgrade. That is 30 iron that we're gonna need. So that's a pretty huge amount. That is basically just what we have here. But I feel like I can just squeeze the sailor upgrade in between, at least, since we get a little bit of iron from the Dwarven here all the time. So we should be able to get a little bit of bonus. Other than that, you only got 30, like only 25 iron for you, right? So basically you could only go for the chief and the relic. You should watch out for another mine around you, so you can actually reach the 30 for the warrior upgrade, for the chief, and for the relic, basically. If not, if you only have 25 iron, there's no way to go around it. I would probably skip the warrior upgrade. That would be the only thing that I feel like you could actually skip. But that would be a really unlucky situation, to be honest. That shouldn't really happen that often. So, this one still. Gold is really going quite good right now. We could also already think about going for ferocious charge or feeling safe. I like feeling safe right now since we're not fighting soon. If we would be fighting soon, I would definitely not do that. So, oh yeah, we have actually masses of iron because of the Dwarven, so we can easy peasy go for the sailor and farmer upgrade, which we are gonna do now. Sailor, farmer. As soon as they are done here, we're gonna send them onto the forge too, and they help out our, our forger there. Good thing is the Dwarven are also military units. That's why I'm not really too worried about the fallen sailors attacking me. They're even attacking on the Dwarven tile. It couldn't be more perfect, really. And now we just send the villagers over, help out the Dwarven and the Dwarven tanks for us. Because it doesn't make too big of a difference here when the Dwarven is a little bit hurt in comparison to have a low villager. Let's go. Clearing this out. We can also go for more gold upgrades. We could also... I think the one upgrade I would definitely be getting right here would be the... dock. I wouldn't go for the farm right now because I need gold for Relic and all the other upgrades. So right now I would rather have a better gold production than going for food, which is not really too important for me right now. So the Dwarvens go over. We get the sailor upgrade. Farmer upgrade is already lined up. I would probably go for the warrior upgrade before we go for the Relic, but it really depends how quickly they can be done now. Maybe I'm just going for the Relic first, because it goes relatively fast with the Dwarven on there. Basically I have 3 people now going for my upgrades, which makes it really fast. Let's go for the tile up there before it gets stolen. And since we upgraded all the tiles, this is the time where we can just bank up our gold, and this is definitely the time where I think about just getting the food upgrade here. Definitely gonna at least need one. When we have the warrior upgrade and everything, we don't really need upgrades for our camps anymore, since I'm not really banking on this build. I'm mostly just trying to get everything rolling as good as possible. We're gonna need a house here. Build that quite instantly up there. And then I would think about the chief at this moment. Just also for my feeling safe happiness. That should be really good. Yeah, gold income is pretty good though. Since we're not upgrading camps, you also need to spam camps now around this time. So you are actually able to get the army out with your Relic Thorfinn. Having Relic Thorfinn is already pretty good, right? You're already gonna do quite fine with that. We're still going for warriors here, by the way, because we have ferocious charge. So warriors still get a charge, even though you it doesn't really exist anymore for all the other warriors in game. Just let me save me here for 1 second. It's gonna be tough, I think, to not starve here. One will from there. And then we should be able to make it happen. Sometimes I talk a little bit too much and don't watch enough how much resources I actually have. There we go. So Perfect. You don't starve now. We can send all the villagers back to where we want them. Here we go. Yeah, going for unstoppable now. It's the better one, but we're going for warriors because you still have to charge on the warriors, and you get an additional 15% damage there. You also get a free forge. I'm oftentimes just ignoring that more or less. If we're able to get that before we get the warrior upgrade, we might also just... Oh, we don't even have it lined up, so we could also go for ferocious charge for the free upgrade here. Let's see, maybe I hit it before I get the next upgrade. But first we get the chief, get us out of the unhappiness. Oh, only cost 150. Yeah, it used to cost 250. It was a little bit bound there, but it only costs 150 gold now to make it a little bit easier to come back. And was a little bit of an ox buff here back in the days just to get it a little bit back. So since we have the chief now, there should be a equipment be spawning relatively soon, and the next equipments will spawn at specific military experience thresholds, which I don't know out of my mind. But the more military experience you get, the more equipments will spawn around the map. There are equipments for your torso, your hands, and your feet. There are always 2 different sets. There we go. There's the first one already, and we can now search the ancient battleground and get a bonus for that. Even if you already have 1 piece of armor for the chief, still get the other ones, right? Even if you got 3 already, because with unstoppable we get a 5% attack power and defense bonus for each of these equipments we found. So yeah, keep in mind to still go for it, even though you might not think it's the most important thing at the moment. Yeah, but since we're not gonna hit ferocious charge here, should have probably gone for that before unstoppable, to be honest, because then I would have gotten a free upgrade, which generally seems quite kind of nice, of course. And yeah, let's just do that. Let's just pay for the upgrade. So we got our first equipment, 10% health and, no, 10% defense and health increase by 25%. And now we would need to get more military experience, so more of these equipment spawn for us. We already have a fight there from the opponents. So at this point, we can already get our relic. Probably build it in a tile where it's ultra safe, so we're gonna build it there at the back. And we could build a few more camps just to being able to get more army, just in case things would go down in this moment. So yeah, let's get a few more extra camps. That's why we have so much wood, because we basically need so much stuff that we're gonna build here. We can also build the silo here in the farm now. I feel like at this point it's also actually gonna give us a bit of an effect here, because with only 1 farmer on it, which is unupgraded, I don't feel the bonus is gonna be all too big. Just building cans left and right. And go for more stone, just if we want more upgrades. We could also totally, at this situation, not have gone for all the camps here and basically just build an altar. Like, there's so many ways to go more greedy on Ox and go bigger. So this is why it's one of the strongest late game clans, not only because of the Relic, which is even gonna get better in later game fights, right? When you can send like 40 army just running towards your chief, and when the chief then don't dies, you are doing quite well. I'm gonna try to let you see how the relic actually works and what it does, but just keep in mind it's one of the best things you can do in the game, more or less. There we go. We can still get the ferocious charge because the lore is just that strong. Like the bonus that gives you the free upgrade is basically just the small thing that helps you out there, and not really something too let's get another camp down there. Then we could think about upgrading a dock. Should be there relatively soon. The Dwarvens are going hard. And yeah, you can already see the eco situation that we have right here is crazy, right? Like, we don't look for a fight. We basically are just chilling. We can still ramp quite a bit here. We can get a lot more warriors. We get a lot more upgrades, a lot more camps. In this situation here, my mate takes a lot of stuff away from me by colonizing, like boxing me in basically. But with AI, you can always just request the zone and steal it from them. And yeah, if they steal it from me, I'm gonna steal it from them. Let's say that. Let's do a little small feast here, because we have just that much food. And yeah, I could also try to build more camps up there so we can send out more army when we need it. Could also just break down the forge at this point, since we already have most of the upgrades we want. You could also go for the shield bearer and the X-throw upgrade for your chief. This is generally possible. I'm just trying to keep it a little bit more straightforward, and we're gonna attack in the very, very, very near future here, which is why I'm also spamming all the camps around the map right now. So, maybe the longship dock upgrade was also a little bit much when I'm planning to attack right now. But hey, just want to show how greedy you can go with the clan. So yeah, at this point that will give us 10 army. I think this is already relatively okay. I think with that we're just gonna go out. Take a chief. Gonna need to stop a dock or two here to actually being able to get something out. But the funny thing about Ox is that you can just have your eco still running relatively strong while you are out with an army, which is not too bad. We'll see that quite soon. Let's go more. Also keep in mind that your camp upgrades are free, so if you would want more happiness and everything, camp upgrades are definitely still something you can go for. They just don't ramp out of control as they used to when you get the 100% extra bonus at 1.5k military experience. So yeah, you can see I could just send the villagers back here. I don't mind. Over there. Being attacked by a Dwarven here, which really doesn't matter that much. And yeah, we have our army out. We can do stuff now, but our eco is still going hard. Like, we can still build new camps. We can still get more army. Yeah, since our villagers are just that more beefy, this is generally possible. And yeah, this would be our army that we could fight with now. Let's see if we can actually find an opponent that we can get into a fight here. Just check it against the Valkyries. You can see that it is relatively strong here. Warriors do a lot of damage here. There's also a way to like proc the charge all the time to get the extra attack bonus for proccing the charge. I don't know, it's not really my vibe, but it's generally possible to do. I oftentimes think I'm missing out on way too much damage by dancing around there all the time in comparison to just straight up attacking them. So yeah, like I said, we could just add camps here. In that moment, we would could also put out these people out of the dock. That would slow down our gold right now, but since the camp is gonna be done in a second, we could get a new one. There's a new equipment that spawned. We could also go back, take the equipment here. I would take as many of them as possible because it makes us so much stronger. And since we don't see a lot of army here from the opponents, I'm gonna wait until they run in one more time, and then I'm gonna show you how the relic works. It's basically a taunt for a certain amount of area, and how you can use it really, really nice is if you have your army at a certain point, and the chief, best thing scenario would be you have a lot of long-ranged units. You put your chief a little bit further away, but you still need to be in range of the people that come in. I think the best thing would be, for example, here. You have a lot of X-throws over here. The army comes in, wants to attack your X-throws, but in that moment you just press the relic. All the units will run towards your chief and will be forced to attack your chief, and your X-throws can just go ham on them. So the first few seconds of a fight, your opponents will not be actively fighting. And yeah, people that played a lot of Northgard already know that the first seconds of a fight decide the fight, because fights can be very, very snowbally in Northgard. So if you are able to get your opponent down in the very first seconds, you are usually in a great situation for the rest of the fight, because you are probably gonna win that one. Yeah, I think you get a general vibe here. I just want to get like one time that I can show you how the relic works. Usually the AI got a lot more aggressive here, so it should be very, very possible. And yeah, right now, since I have the charge on my warriors still, that other warriors don't have, I can already say these are all that. Like, oftentimes the chief can run away, but I can just run in. Now, to show you, come here. They want to run away. I say, nope, you stay here. This is huge. This is so huge. You have a downtime of 6 minutes for this, so half a year basically. But still, the relic is so damn strong that you're still gonna be able to do a lot with it. So yeah, I think at this point, we're gonna stop this video here. I guess you get the general gist of the clan. I think it's still like an absolute might when it comes to late game fights. You can be a little bit earlier, like I said, go instant for the relic. You will mostly only have Thorfinn out then and not that much army. But since you have the relic on Thorfinn, you can still be deciding fights quite good. So yeah, don't worry too much about that. You can do it a little bit earlier. We're gonna go for the mid 802 is basically the basic one. You are not at your strongest point. You can get a lot stronger here. You can basically take all the time in the world, still go for an altar. There's so many ways to make the Ox clan strong here, and you're usually not the one that has any stress at all. I think the only clans you need to be a little scared in late game is maybe the Hippogriff. Dragon can be really, really strong, but I would think that Dragon and Ox are basically on the same level right now when it comes to late game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I feel like it. And Rat would be the same thing. I think Rat is also very much up to par with Ox currently. Maybe the Rat actually got a little bit stronger than Ox with the last upgrades, because yeah, you don't get the 100% bonus on the veterans anymore, but you still have the Chief, you still have the Relic, you still have a very, very strong build here with the Dwarvens. I feel like the Ox still has very much a chance against the Rat to beat it down. So yeah, one of the strongest late game clans you can have. In 801, definitely a little bit, yeah, vulnerable, let's say that. Like in 801, with this build, you can definitely be caught off guard. If you feel like a game like that would be happening, I would be going straight for the Relic, or oftentimes maybe just go straight for gold production and into some completely different build here. But I think the Dwarven build is definitely the strongest for the Ox. There's a lot that you can do with it, and yeah, basically my favorite build with Ox. I'm always really sad when I don't see any Dwarven on the map when I'm playing Ox. So yeah, thanks everybody for dropping in. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you have a great time with the Ox clan and the Dwarven strategy. Maybe see you back on the next one. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If not, then not. Have a great rest of your day, and yeah, see you around, everybody. Bye bye.